Good morning, class 12. Today I am going to start your new chapter, Aggregate Demand, and it's a related concept. It's a CBSE note for class 12, Macroeconomics. Concept of aggregate demand. Following observation needed to be noted to understand the concept of aggregate demand in macroeconomics. Aggregate demand does not refers to demand for any particular goods in the market. It refers to demand for all goods and service in the economy. AD is often measured for a period of accounting year, so it is a flow concept. Aggregate demand can be measured with the reference to general price level in the economy or with reference to the level of income of the people. If aggregate demand is related to the general price level, we shall find negative relationship between price level and aggregate demand, so that aggregate demand curve slope downward. On the other hand, if AD is related to the level of income, we shall find positive relationship between income and AD, so that AD curve slope downward. Now, component of aggregate demand. Component of aggregate demand or aggregate expenditure are discussed with reference to closed economy and open economy. With the closed economy, a closed economy, two sector closed economy or three sector closed economy. A two sector closed economy include household sector and productive sector. Specifically, there is no government sector in this economy. Specifically, there is no government sector in the economy. Household purchase goods for purpose of consumption. Accordingly, their expenditure is called consumption expenditure. Producer, on the other hand, purchase goods for purpose of investment. These two sector closed economy AD has two components. One is C, that is household consumption, I, that is producer investment expenditure. Component of AD in an open economy. An open economy include four sector: household sector, producer sector and government sector. Rest of world sector generate demand for our goods and services in term of our exports. Thus exports add AD in the domestic economy. But we also make import from rest of the world. Import are opposite to export. While export increases AD in domestic economy. In import decrease it. Accordingly, we find the value of net export means when export is more than import. See the formula of AD. AD equal to C, that is household consumption, I, private investment, C, G, that is government expenditure, plus X minus M, that is net export. Now, concept of aggregate supply. Aggregate supply refers to aggregate production as planned by the producer during an accounting year. It implies the flow of goods and services in the economy during an accounting year. We know production of goods and services implies value addition and value addition implies income generation. Our knowledge of national income accounting tell us the value added and income generate are identical to each other. Accordingly, as implies flow income in the economy during an accounting year as and y as that is aggregate supply and y that is income can be treated as identical to each other. Now aggregate supply, that is AS schedule, is a table showing the behavior of AS corresponding to different level of Y. Table 2 is an example. Table 2 aggregate supply schedule. See the table carefully, and this is aggregate supply. Now table 2 show perfect identical between AS and Y. This is explained in the term of following observation. Now table 2, as per table 2, identify between Y and AS shows that AS shows the producer in the economy are ready to supply all that they wish to produce. Why do producer wish to sell, supply all that they wish to produce? This is because there is an excess capacity in the economy. Accordingly, whenever there is rise in demand, the producer responds to it by planning an equal rise in supply so that there is excess capacity is utilized. Note that proportionate increase in now why should we presume that there is excess capacity in the economy? This is in fact basic assumption of macroeconomic model as pronounced by Keynes. Keynes made this basic assumption because he was dealing with the economic facing severe unemployment in the wake of Great Depression of 1930s. Such economics must have excess capacity or unutilized capacity. This we can identify as with Y, that is income. Now see consumption function. Household consumption expenditure is an important component of an aggregate demand in India in the economy. It is directly related to the level of income. Higher income leads higher C, that is higher expenditure. If you have higher income, obviously your expenditure is much more higher as per your income and vice versa. The functional relationship between C and Y is called consumption functions. It reveals the behavior of household consumption expenditure with respect to level of income in the economy. Studying the behavior of C with respect to Y, the economists have identified the following point of central significance. There is always some minimum level of C, that is consumption, even when Y equal to 0. Obviously, when income is 0, our need cannot be 0. That is the reason it's called autonomous consumption. Consumption is positively related to income. Rise in Y cause a rise in consumption and vice versa. Consumption function. See the consumption function in a tabular presentation. Here 0 to 150 is a consumption function, income, and 20 to 140 is a consumption function. See, offer a simple tabular presentation of consumption function. It reveals that 20 is the minimum level of consumption. This is the level of C even when Y is 0. You are seeing consumption is 20 when income is even 0. C rise in response to rise in Y. As your income is rises, your consumption is also rises. The rate at which C increases is lower than rate of which Y increases. Thus, while Y increases each time by 50, C increases by 40 only. The differences between consumption and income indicate saving out of income. The slope of C line. It's a marginal proportionality to consume. Slope of C line indicate consumption function. Needs some elaboration. It refers to the rate at which C increases in response to a given increase in Y. It indicates the proportion of additional income that goes to consumption. This is measured as the ratio between change in consumption and change means increase in consumption and change Y means increase in income. This is known as marginal proportionality to consume. See the figure of MPC as the slope of C line. See, this is your consumption diagram and this is your income diagram. See, from the 20, the consumption, at the 20 consumption, the income is 100, and as a 20 consumption to 100 consumption, your income is increases. When your consumption is 100, your income is also 100. This is the point where income and consumption both are equal. Now it's again your income is increases, your consumption is also increases. Your consumption is 140 and your income is 150. This is the line, this is the slope where income is saved. See the slope line, change in C and change in Y equal to 0.8. Now saving function. Income is either consumed or saved, so that income equal to C plus consumption plus saving. We have already discussed how consumption behave with respect to Y, that is consumption function. We now discuss how saving behave with respect to Y. The functional relationship between saving S and Y called saving function. Once C function is specified, S function can easily be derived from it. Because C and S are the only two components of income and because both C and S are determined by Y, let us get back to the tabular presentation of C function and see how S function can be derived from it. Now C function, Y that is income, C is the consumption. Now marginal proportionality to save. Slope of S line refers to the rate of which S increases in response to give increase in Y. It indicates that the proportionate of additional income that goes to saving. It is measured as the ratio between additional saving and additional income. This is called marginal proportionality to save.